Hello.
Yeah. Hey now.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Alrighty, uh, we're gonna talk about my pick from the Savage Guns
Yeah.
that Dirk's got up there. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
The Four of the Apocalypse,
Yeah,
and
man.
we'll talk about that. But we'll talk about some recent watches. Uh, we'll go with Dirk as always first.
Okay. Yeah, so I've seen this movie several times. Uh from 1932, White Zombie. Uh
Okay. Yeah.
with Bela Lugosi, the year after Dracula. This one never really gets mentioned. I mean, as far as zombie films, and it's the voodoo take. I know it's not like, you know, they borrowed sets from like Frankenstein and shit like that. You could tell like most of the actors came from the silent era of film, except Lugosi. Like he's like the standout. That's the whole reason you're gonna watch this damn movie. But it's the very first time somebody says the word zombie in
Yeah.
movie history. So very important film. I always dig it, man. Bela Lugosi's eyes in the damn movie.
And his goatee.
Yeah, yeah, man. He got a lot of shit uh, after doing Dracula. He was just like typecast. He couldn't get like. He kind of wanted to do more than just Dracula, but he was just kind of typecast in these roles. But yeah, man. If you've never seen White Zombie, I kind of thought it was appropriate because you think like Fulci's Zombie kind of takes, uh, you know, like it's like an homage in a way because he comes with the voodoo angle in his version of Zombie. Uh, but yeah, so watch that one. Uh, but like I said, the acting's pretty rough, like from the silent actors. But Lugosi kills it as always. Uh,
Well, plus
and
it was one of those. And it was like one of the lower budget studios back then.
yeah, it was an independent group.
Yeah.
There were brothers, a couple brothers, Edward Halperin and Victor Halperin. So they made all the money. They didn't, they were like, screw y'all. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean Lugosi really got screwed a lot.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. He said he only made $800 for that movie.
well, now look, let's think about $800 in the 1930s.
Yeah,
Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
I think someone spent like $18 in like 1950 something, and it was $100, over $100. So I mean, it's still a lot. I know I read that or heard that on like Son of Frankenstein, uh, he was not getting hardly any money, and Boris Karloff and Basil Rathbone went to the producers and made sure that he got more money than what they were
oh yeah,
originally going to give him.
yeah. I have heard that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. But definitely worth the watch, man. It's and I would say get the Kino Blue because it's a very cleaned up version. All the other versions I ever saw was they're really bad, man, really bad. But
So
and
I've
then
never seen that one. Never ever come around to seeing it.
yeah, man, I really dig it. I know it ain't a lot of people's favorite, but you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the next one is 1981's. I figured Valentine's Day. Let's do something. What the
Is
hell?
that is that so I fit in with everybody else?
I guess they
or
want
what?
to. Yeah, I think so. Come to think of it,
Yeah,
I'll wear a bald cap next
Yeah.
time. I'm not gonna shave my head.
right. I figured I picked these couple last two, Valentine Day theme and everything. So 1981's Possession, you know,
Oh yeah.
with Romandro Zalowski. What do y'all think about that one?
That movie's bizarre. I need to watch it again.
yeah.
Right.
I'll be honest. I had never seen it, and I mean, I know a little about it, but Yeah, I need to watch it again, but
It'll make you rethink your marriage.
I've actually heard that as well.
Couldn't see that. I don't know.
But it's like it's strongly like there's a lot of like symbolism and shit in the film, because it's shot in Berlin, Germany. So when the film starts, you see the Berlin Wall. So it's like automatically about division, and then like the couple, like this dude's been gone for a while. He comes home to his wife and kid, and she wants to get a divorce without an explanation. But yeah, man, it's a bizarre. She goes fucking batshit crazy, man, and it gets crazy as hell. But
I've heard this one that you either love or hate. That's what I kind of get from when you read like people's reviews.
I see every time I watch it though, I see more shit like that I didn't see before. You know, it's one of those kind of films. But anyway, Isabella Johnny, she's like amazing performance in that. Like Zalowski told her there's a scene in a subway tunnel. It's like probably the craziest scene in the whole film. But he told her to act like she's fucking air. So like when you see that scene, just think of that shit. So anyway, so yeah, and then so here's the last one, man. Antichrist.
Oh yeah.
2009.
Oh.
The Lars von Trier. Yeah, the Lars von Trier Antichrist. So it's got Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg, and man, they're both unnamed in the movie. So, but it's another one. Like it starts out, the couple's like having sex, and their son, he climbs up on a chair and he falls out the damn window, and then their life is like changes, dramatically. And then as the film progresses, man, like he's a therapist. Willem Dafoe's character, he's a therapist, so she's starting to lose her damn mind, and he finds out that her other fear is nature. So he's like, well, I need to expose you to nature. He takes her to a damn cabin where she really fucking loses her mind. And yeah, there's a crazy ass scene. Y'all ever seen that one?
No.
I haven't seen that one, no.
Okay.
Well, Antichrist now.
Okay. Yeah, Lars von Trier. But yeah, it won some awards at the Cannes Film Festival in 2009. He won a Silver Lion Award, and the female Charlotte Gainsbourg won Best Actress. But anyway, it's the first of his Depression trilogy. So you got that one, then you got Melancholia, and then Nymphomaniac. Those are the three.
I tried to watch the first Nymphomaniac, but
yeah,
why we needed them to be split up and they both be about 2 hours or so long. I mean, I don't understand it, but all this shit's long.
I need to get on those. I haven't seen those, but if you want to see some really wild shit, I mean, it's got and it's a slow burn, but it's also the first film that used 1,000 frames per second, super extreme slow motion. So some of these shots are like amazing. There's a deer, a fox, and a crow that like two of them talk, or like no, the fox talks to him, to Willem Dafoe's character, and it's got like a damn baby coming out of it, and it's real. Like there's a scene of that. There's also a scene where she hits him in the dick with a log and knocks him out, and then she starts ejaculating him, and blood starts skeeting out, and then she cuts her own foot off with a pair of scissors.
No.
Spoiler alert. But
No.
That'll put everyone off there like Sunday dinner later, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just figured those would be good to watch on Valentine's Day, And so Trier said like what he was trying to do was to show the inherent evil of women because they're all inherently evil.
Don't shake your head too much, Steve.
But anyway, yeah, it's a trip. It's a good one for a whole family. So.
Well, I like to watch Stephen King did a remake of the Kingdom Hospital show that he did.
Yeah.
And I think they're putting out a Blu-ray or something of that series, the original, I guess Dutch or German, whatever the hell it is.
I never saw the original, but what Stephen King did with it, I liked it.
Oh, I saw the Udo Kier's in it, and like he's giving birth or something, and weird shit's going on.
Damn.
I don't remember, but it was on one of the channels that used to show wild shit instead of showing Malcolm in the Middle reruns now. But
so, I mean, this one though it's big time about depression and anxiety, and shot in Germany as well. And it's produced by like 6 European countries and shit. So I figured it was appropriate. Anyway, but that's my 3, man. Check it out. Check it out.
All right, Darren, what you got?
Yeah, so first one up, I've seen before, but I was watching again recently for a stream last week. It's called The Pajama Girl Case from 1977. So it's directed by Flavio Mogherini. The music's by Rizzo Delani. Stars Dalia Di Lazario. She's turned up in a few Fulci films. She's like stunning. Ray Milland, Howard Ross, and Mel Ferrer. So in Australia, this little girl, she's on a beach, and she finds this badly burnt body in this car that's been burnt up. Ray Milland, he kind of comes out of retirement to take on the case, similar to Max von Sydow in Sleepless. So I'm sure that was lifted from this.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got the stunning Dalia Lazario. She plays Linda, who's like this very unhappy woman. She's in all these different relationships. She's got this sugar daddy, Mel Ferrer. You know, everyone knows Mel Ferrer. He plays he must be 2 or 3 times her age in this. But she goes back and forth to Howard Ross, and then there's her husband, and so there's big love triangles and that. So basically, then it's such a clever film because it's intertwined with a police investigation and the story of this girl and how she comes about. So in Australia, back in the early 1930s, I think it may be a little bit later, a girl died. They couldn't identify her, so the only reason they could try and find out who she was, they put her on display in this big glass box. All based off a true story. So this is how the 2 stories kind of intertwined, more by fault than anything else, because the film was shot as a straight giallo, but it didn't come out too well, so they decided to go that aspect where they do the 2. There's a really unpleasant scene as well where she takes 2 men and an underage nephew back to have sex with her, because she basically needs the money, and it's this big fat greasy guy, man, sweaty guy. It's bad. But yeah, I'd say very clever, very uniquely filmed. I'd highly recommend it. I'd give it, I think, a very strong 7 out of 10. I guess I know Dirk. Has Dirk seen it actually?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it a while back, didn't you?
Yeah, it's out of the Giallo Essentials. It's that title of that film always reminds me of a slumber party or some weird shit.
Right, yeah, and there's a song as well. I forgot to mention Amanda Lear. She sings the song, and it's very once it gets in your head.
Right.
I take it Dana and Steve have seen that.
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times.
I
got the Arrow release.
If I've seen it or not.
Yeah, I mean you have, but you probably just
been a while.
Yeah.
Right, I think Dana would like it actually.
It's been a long time, just since I've seen it though. Yeah.
Yeah, same with me. Second one up, because we did a stream last night on Sergio Martino, so I won't go too deep into these because you can just look it up. Our thoughts. But Scorpion with Two Tails, 1982, directed obviously by Martino. Yeah, music by Fabio Frizzi. This film is fucking wild, man. I tell you. So you've got an archaeologist's wife. She has like these reoccurring nightmares about these ritual killings that's going on in this Excrucian tomb. While her husband is away, kind of, looking up, that he's found this lost temple. So after a phone call, she's forced to listen to him being killed over the phone. She travels to the site to basically solve out the murder, the mystery of his death. This is honestly wild, man. It's got John Saxon, Claudio Casanelli, Paolo Malco. So you'd think this would be great. No. The lead actress is Elvie Audrey. She's one of the worst fucking actresses I've ever seen in a film, non-stop, like definitely an Italian film. So with this, right, it's basically a really bad Lucio Fulci ripoff because the music is completely lifted from City of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
The main theme is almost like the theme from The Beyond. You've got maggots coming out of bloody hands.
Yeah, it looks like
shit.
a very bad Fulci.
Yeah, yeah.
Like impersonation.
You've even got like the bats attack this woman as well, like from Hated by the Cemetery. The art is exactly the same offsave, Hated by the Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
But it's bad, I think the first half hour is pretty entertaining, but after that. So, yeah, it was basically going to be an 8-part TV series, and I think that's why it looks so cheap, because they lost the elements. They can't find the elements to do that again. But it's worth a watch, I'd say, just to, like, rip on it,
Yeah.
That was like a 4 out of 10. I think to give it a 3.
Yeah, it was shot in 16mm, blown up to 35mm, so it looks it looks like shit.
Yeah. There's really shitty Blu-ray out of it as well. That was saying, like,
yeah,
is it Grindhouse?
Full moon.
Well, full moon, yeah. So
yeah.
Watch it, at your peril, kind of thing.
You probably get that shit for $5 or something.
Yeah. Last one up is a film that surprised me, actually. It's Mozart is a Murderer.
Yeah.
Directed by Sergio Martino. So this was like a late 1999 giallo. You've got this violinist called Chiara. Basically, she's brutally murdered after this performance. They're all like music students. They're performing this Mozart, song on stage. As they're doing it, she kind of comes across a bum note, and the whole, orchestra has to stop. That comes to play in a little bit later. But I really enjoyed this one. I think, really liked the commissionaire Antonio Maccaro, who's played by Enzo Decario, who's outstanding in the lead role. His backstory is this serial killer killed his wife like 6 years ago. We don't know if that's going to come into play in this one. All the kids start to get killed one by one. There's a brilliant death of this one boy in a not swimming pool, but like a bath type sauna. And there's touches of like Martino at his best during that scene as well, with the blood, the reds. I mentioned it more in detail last night. But yeah, the whole ending to the film as well, and why this is all happening is fucking completely far out there. Dirk gave a good explanation of it last night, so go back and watch that. It's to do with, like, basically she was a fetus in her mother's body when she was pregnant, and apparently fetuses can hear like her mother being killed, and it affects her psychologically, which I don't know how that works, but that's kind of what, I don't think it takes anything away from the film. I think there's elements of Scream in there as well, being a late 90s, film. But yeah, it took me by surprise, this one. I highly recommend it. It's not going to be great. It's something of the level of, say, Dario Argento's Sleepless. Maybe a little bit not as good as that, but well worth a watch.
Right.
So I'll give it a strong 6. I think Dirk did as well. Did you give it a 6, Dirk?
Yeah, it's a 6 out of 10.
You can get it on Rare Lust as well, because I don't think it's got a proper release anywhere.
I couldn't find one. I found a Blu-ray on eBay, but ships from the UK and it's like $13 shipping, and
Right, yeah, it might be an Italian release somewhere along the line, but yeah, that's the three I've seen.
All right, Dana, I'm gonna let you go. I have to make a quick
Exit for a little bit.
for a second.
Okay.
I'll let you go.
All right. He probably just doesn't want to hear me talk about movies.
That's not true.
But of course, with the impending holiday coming up for Valentine's Day, of course, I watched the original My Bloody Valentine, the Canadian slasher classic, in my opinion, directed by George Mahalka. And I actually had a watch along for it last night, in case any of you were able to catch that. You can watch it on the replay as well. But I think everybody that's in here, including Dirk and Darren, are familiar with the plot of this movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think I need to go into detail. But I will say that if you've never seen it, I would suggest you watch the uncut version. You know, go all out and watch the uncut version. Don't be like us old school people that had to watch it cut all to pieces the first time we watched it. Because Paramount basically would not, you know, in the MPAA, although I've been told it's just the MPA now. I think TJ told me that. He said it's not the MPAA anymore, it's just MPA. But anyway, combination of the two entities said, you can't put this movie out like this with all this stuff in it. So horror fans got deprived of a lot of good extra gore in My Bloody Valentine for years. I remember the first time I saw the one shot where the miner has put the character of Sylvia up on like the shower head in the mine, and bloody water is coming out of her mouth and stuff. And they had the uncut shot in Fangoria. I was like, oh man, I'm missing some of the some of the best parts of the movie. So now we get the benefit of being able to watch it in a pristine condition with those extra scenes put back in. So I suggest, if you've never seen it, that you watch it full uncut. The Canadians, I'll just say this, and I said it last night too, the Canadians were killing it at this point in time with the horror movies. I honestly think that they were putting out better films than the States, the UK, anybody, you know, at that point in time. They just had a corner on the market, I feel like, at least for slasher films. I'm not necessarily talking about giallos or anything like that, but slasher films, yeah, they cornered the market at that
Wasn't
point.
there like one or two shots that they still couldn't put back into the film that they couldn't find anywhere?
It seems like there were, Darren, which is a shame. It's a real shame. I don't know if it was they ended up cut out of the negative and ended up getting thrown into a dumpster at Paramount,
probably,
or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe you're right on that. But so the other two I wanted to talk about, I've been doing a new series of streams called Everybody Wants England. And I've been watching every Robert Englund movie. No matter how minuscule the part, I've been watching everything he's been in.
Have you watched the new, like...
I'm doing them in order, so...
2000 Maniacs?
No, I haven't got to that one yet, because I'm doing them in order of the year. And I do 3 a night, so I'm not even going to talk about one of them, but I'll talk about
not talk about any of them?
No.
Are you doing Freddy's Nightmares?
I'm not really doing the television stuff, but I may do a whole separate thing on Freddy's Nightmares. Maybe I can get TJ talked into doing one of the horror on TV things for that at some point.
Right.
But all the movies that I can find and watch, I've been doing. So A Star Is Born, which people are thinking, oh my God. But this kind of fits the Valentine's Day theme because there is a romance involved. Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand. And this is actually a very good movie. I don't think I ever want to watch the remake. I've been told by people that I can just skip
It's actually
the
good.
remake. The
The-
remake is?
The one with Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't bad. It's not a bad movie.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll
with
I'll
Bradley Cooper and
yeah, Bradley Cooper and Lady
Tasha
Gaga.
really liked it a lot. And I was like, she's the one that told me to buy it, so that's why I watched the damn thing.
So, if you haven't seen the original, I think it's pretty damn
That's
good.
not the original.
What?
There was one in like the 30s or 40s.
Is it based on the same
I
thing?
I mean, it's called A Star Is Born, and I think
Okay, well, whatever. This is the original to me. I ain't seen that thing from the 30s.
Well,
Okay.
well,
But anyway, Chris Christopherson, they describe him as like a has-been
has been.
rock star, but I don't really think he's like a has-been. He's like,
I never was.
no, he seems like a guy that's just trying to get out of the limelight a little bit. He's living hard, he's drinking, he's doing drugs. You see him snorting cocaine. I guess it's cocaine before he gets ready to go on stage. But people absolutely love him. Gary Busey plays his road manager.
Oh hell, that's normal. That's normal Busey though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before,
it's pretty normal.
pre-accident
Yeah, before
head damage.
before the Dane Bramage.
Yeah.
But anyway, he ends up falling in love with Barbara Streisand's character. Some people probably say, God, why? You know, people that don't like Barbara Streisand. But I thought it was a good romantic type of movie with some rock music and stuff mixed in. Barbara Streisand, Chris Christopherson both do an excellent job when they're on stage performing. Some great songs in it. However, Robert Englund's part is really, really small in it. He plays a guy named Marty who shows up when Chris Christopherson is in a nightclub seeing Barbara Streisand for the first time, Steve. And he just kind of comes in as an asshole. He brings his girlfriend and he says, hey, he's trying to talk to Chris Christopherson. And Chris Christopherson's like, dude, I'm trying to watch this lady up here on the stage, you know. And so Robert Englund's character of Marty gets really pissed off and tries to start a fight with him over it. And that's basically all you see of Robert Englund in it. He's just being an asshole. And then the second Robert Englund movie I watched was The Great Smoky Roadblock, which was one of those road...
That's a hell of a title.
What's his name in it?
Henry Fonda's in it.
I thought, what's his face?
That's a hell of a title.
The Great Smoky Roadblock.
Ron Howard's in it.
Okay.
Ain't he? No?
If he is, I don't remember him being in it, but
Okay.
all right. Anyway, Henry Fonda plays a guy who he's in the hospital at the beginning of it. I guess he's been sick or something. And
yeah.
he has a dream about... Steve, stop. You're distracting me. He has a dream about, and some people might think this is hokey, about him getting his truck back, his semi-truck back. And he's like, I love you, honey, and stuff like that. And she's called Eleanor. And I guess after Eleanor Roosevelt, because he has a picture of Eleanor Roosevelt inside this truck.
Henry Fonda probably met her.
Well, he probably did. He was old enough. But, you know, anyway, so he breaks out of the hospital and he's got to get his truck back because he wants to make
my truck back.
one last run before he dies. That's what he wants to do. And so he couldn't pay off the loan on his truck, so it's in the repo place. And so he has to break into the repo place, get his truck, and then he takes off to make this great elusive last run, last haul, or whatever he calls it.
Last ride.
And so he's driving for a little bit, and he sees Robert Englund's character of Bebo.
Hey,
Bebo
Robert Englund.
is his name on this.
Bebo is his name-o.
Yes, Steve. And Bebo it's a guy that's trying to get. I think he's trying to get to Florida for some reason.
I'm going to Florida.
And so Henry Fonda's like, get in, and I'll take you where you're going. And then once he gets in the truck, he says, so
Put out or get out?
I think Robert Englund says, I'm pretty much down on my luck. I got $63 to my name.
That's a lot of money back then.
And Henry Fonda says, well, you got 58 more dollars than I do. So you're doing good. So
That means he's got $5, right?
yes.
Gas, grass, or ass. Nobody
Yeah,
rides for
yeah.
free.
That's right.
So they stop at a gas station, and Henry Fonda wants to get it filled up. And Bevo,
I like to get it filled up too.
Steve, stop. Bevo gets all upset because why do you do this when I'm talking about movies? You don't do it to anybody else.
Steve should basically, like, as you're talking about a film, should it, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, play it out the way he's been doing. It'd be awesome.
So Bevo gets mad because he thinks Henry Fonda's character is trying to take advantage of him and it's going to make him pay for the gas. And he says, I'm gone. I'm not going to be used like this. And I love Robert Englund's like kind of Southern accent in this. It's really good. This is a really good role for him. He's in almost all of the movie. And so I like it as a great road trip type of movie. You get to see this friend relationship develop between Henry Fonda and Robert Englund throughout it. And so I would highly recommend both of those movies, actually. If you've never seen them, I think Great Smoky Roadblock's on YouTube if you want to check it out. Either that or Tubi.
All right, thanks, Dana.
All
I'm
right.
just kidding.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right, I'll make it Wolf Lake from 1980.
Yeah.
No,
man.
I don't recall it, but I could have. But I'll begin with one that's not really in the realm of what we discussed. I got the 4K of Face Off a week or so ago, and I finally watched it, and I was really happy with the transfer and the audio and everything. I hadn't seen the movie in a long time because it's a long one. It's like over 2 hours long, but John Woo is great. This is his best American-made movie. Yeah. I watched it's from the 70s. I don't know if it's from 75 or I can't recall. It's called The Medium. And I will say it's not that great. It comes off to me more like a TV movie than anything because it doesn't really have a lot
Is
of.
it a companion piece to The Psychic?
Well, obviously,
I was trying to make a joke.
they called it The Psychic in the subtitles. There
Is that Italian? Because
Yeah.
I think I've got it in one of my Italian books. Yeah.
Well, I can put it out there, but it's a HD transfer from one of the pay channels over in Italy, the Raw channel, whatever it is, Ray.
Right.
And they took the audio, someone subtitled it because originally it wasn't subtitled. But it looks really good, but there's just not a lot going on. At the beginning, where there's like a TV show and they're talking about this psychic person, and then we move to this family this father and son, and I guess his new homeschool teacher comes to live with him. Of course, she's hot and young, but they're starting seeing the boy's seeing a lot of ghosts and shit, and evidently they do bring in a medium from the beginning, and some wackiness ensues, but it's not like that interesting.
Is it like a comedy?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's definitely not.
No, it's in one of my gothic horror books. It's
Okay.
like supposed to be probably right up Dirk Street actually.
I'll put it on my Google Drive and send you some links if you want to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
What was the last ones? I got my arrow set in of the Coffin Joe movies. Of course, there's a issue with the third movie, but
Yeah.
to me, I don't
What's
really.
wrong with it?
The area is.
Ah, yeah.
The subtitles stop working after about 11 or 12 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Hey, I reached out to Arrow and they're sending a disc. So
Yeah, me too.
Right.
I don't. They said do it on social media. I was like, okay,
I did it
but
on their site. I reached out to
yeah,
them.
I was going to, but I just did. They messaged me back, so.
Yeah.
Again, that's one of my. That movie was not released for many years in Brazil, and I guess because it had to do with drug abuse and stuff.
Right.
But it's also not that great. The first one is really good, and I was surprised at the transfer because I know Synapse was not only did DVDs, and but the transfer looks great. It kind of goes in and out. Some transition scenes, it goes from the cleaned up version to a little bit of the dirty version. But I'm working on the second movie, which is almost, I would say, is as good or just a little bit better than the original. There's a lot more wackiness going on in it.
What sold me on it, I started watching the trailers, and
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
you were saying it that you like Coffin Joe, and so I was like, I heard he was like considered the Brazilian Argento.
I don't know about that.
That's what I heard, but we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
I mean,
Shit.
I mean, there's some definitely crazy stuff going on. There's 3 movies in the trilogy, but like they made the first 2, then he went off into some weird directions, and then they made one in like 2008. So all 3 of those are kind of fit together. The rest of them are kind of either have nothing to do with Coffin Joe, or he's like meta. It's like a meta movie where he's playing himself, but then Coffin Joe is in the like New Nightmare almost way back in the 70s.
Like Cat in the Brain. So.
Yeah.
Right, talking of Dario Argento, I know Steve's seen the new documentary.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, I completely
that's a
forgot.
great documentary.
I mean, I liked it. It just seems. I mean, obviously they could do a lot. They could do a 3-hour documentary if they wanted to, and all this other stuff. But for what it was interesting. I really did not. I did not know that he was married before Daria or whatever, Daria, and that Flora is from that marriage, and she does look just like her mother now.
Yeah,
he was married to Nicoletti.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they really married, but he was married to this other chick, or at least
he got it in.
Yeah, he got it in at least once.
I think he basically based like 4 Flies on Grey Velvet on his first wife. Because she said she was watching the film with him, and like it just come over her that he'd based everything, because you got the musician part as well, which is kind of like Dario. But that documentary I really liked a lot. I think I liked it a little bit more.
I still need to watch it, man. I haven't had time. I haven't had time to watch nothing.
I thought it was good.
There's a piece in it with the lead actress from opera, and she gets really upset about something, but it's not kind of like, it doesn't tell you why. I don't know whether she regrets, that
she used to be rat-handed. She used to be.
Right.
She's still kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
The rose is off the bloom's off the rose, as they say. But still.
What I said about her is at least she looks better now than she did all strung out on whatever the heck she was strung out on during that. What was that you were watching?
Those were like extras or some weird shit that I don't know. I mean, I don't even know.
Did she not have underwear on at one time? I don't know. She had a skirt or
Very
something.
possible.
She was sitting there playing. I did it on the Patreon. I don't know if it's still there, but she had a TV and she was balancing a TV VCR, and her boobs kind of popped out, and she was, I don't know. She was either high or drunk or something, but it was insane. Right. But anyway,
she was on some heavy drugs and alcohol, I think.
But anyway, all
It
right.
was nice to see Asia in the documentary. Actually,
Yeah, it was.
Um, she
What the world did you do?
she looks like cleaned up a little bit as well. She doesn't look as bad as she does on, say, like
Threw her
Mother of
ass in
Tears.
rehab.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
But it was good to have her on. I really liked it. It was quite funny because Dario is like this crotchety old man, and they got this camera following him around.
Right.
But it kind of sunk my heart a little bit, knowing how old he is, and like, you know, he's not going to be around for a lot longer.
Well, you got to also see like Lucio Fulci and
Yeah.
Bava's son.
Lamberto.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Del
and
Toro was on
Del
there.
Toro was on there. So
Okay.
what's it? Fuck, Bava. What's his first name?
Lamberto.
Lamberto.
Umberto. Yes, I'm sorry. He looks like he's lost weight because when I met him years
Him and
ago,
Cosby, both
both
of them
looked like they
did.
kind of lost a little weight. Hopefully not for the wrong reasons. But but anyway, it's yeah, I would definitely watch it if you're an Argento fan. I mean, you know,
I'm watching it tonight. I might watch it during the Super Bowl because I don't give a shit about this year's Super Bowl.
I think they've got to put out a better version with extended interviews at least, or even a 3 or 4 hour.
Yeah,
Well,
I hope it gets physical. That'd
They
be cool.
skip over so much. Like, they skip completely over Cat o' Nine Tails. I know I'm not a massive fan of that film.
yeah.
And then some of the later films they just don't mention at all.
Steve, you mentioned that, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean,
I heard it's the same people that did Fortune for Fate. So,
well, at least they didn't go that route.
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess because he was alive, so that makes it easier.
right, yeah. But yeah, it's definitely well worth a watch. Yeah.
So, also I cleaned up the back here. If anybody cares.
Yeah, man. I see
Nice, yeah.
I see Halloween 3.
Yeah, well, I just thought about that when I spent 2 hours last weekend doing this, even though I didn't really think it was going to take that long.
Are those the trick or treat masks?
Yeah, I wouldn't have bought them if Dana had mentioned they were losing the
Is that
cop-
why you got them? I
Yeah.
thought they just seen
A
them
license?
at Spirit House.
Yeah, I thought they were cool, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
have spent $66 on 3 of them.
Well,
Right.
Steve was wanting to know,
Or
are
whatever
they
it
in the
was.
right order, I guess, in what they
I don't
show on
remember.
the
I'll have to look
commercial.
it up, but it doesn't matter.
I was going to watch the commercial from the movie again.
Well, it's probably on the Blu-ray cover or 4K cover or whatever.
They
But
look
it-
great in that context because they really stand out in the
Yeah,
background.
I know.
Yeah.
No, they do really
Right
look
between
good.
us.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, we'll start with our main film, Four Flies on
Good Lord, Steve.
Four Flies on the Apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be a new movie. There we go.
Four of the Apocalypse, which I always thought it was four for the Apocalypse, but
Yeah.
that was too many fours.
Right.
But this movie, I think it's from 1976, which is pretty much at the tail end of.
It's as old as I am.
75. But
Oh well,
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit over. than
when it hit America, it was no.
okay.
But that was the tail end of the spaghetti westerns, which this one, it's not really a spaghetti western. It's more like a I
more
don't.
dramatic.
Well, it's more
Well,
of
it's like
a
a road movie, right?
yeah. It's more of a psychedelic ish,
Yeah.
very 70s bleak kind of story. Fabio Testi, which when he looked like a young Boris Karloff with his face shaved and everything to me.
Yeah.
But he's a big gambler apparently. And Queasy gets in town. I guess he gets in trouble, and he gets arrested, thrown in a cell with the other characters.
Yeah. A pregnant prostitute. And,
Yep.
drunk.
Played by Lynn Frederick, who was also in Schizo.
Oh right, that's where I've
Lynn-
seen her
I
from.
was like,
I
that's
didn't
Lynn
know
Frederick.
that it was a.
Yeah, she was. She died at the age of 39 too.
Oh, wow.
She was married to Peter Sellers.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's really hot in this film. I know that.
She's absolutely beautiful
Yeah.
in this movie.
Cat of Nine Tails. This is my first Argento movie that I saw because they played it on TV when I was really young, and they cut it up to fit in a 90-minute slot during the afternoon. So I'd come home from school, and then I would always check the TV Guide to see what's playing on the week. They have a theme week every time, and so I watched that. Obviously, it was okay, but not cleaned up or anything. But I mean, I like it, but it's not one of my favorite Argentos. I think it's obviously rich in the way it looks. I guess it's Technicolor. I'm not sure, but it looks rich, rich colors and stuff. I like it. It's kind of wacky with the chromosome stuff and all that. But it's not. It's definitely got some great shots in it, and it's not. But it's not one of my favorite.
I need to revisit it because it's one that it's less watched.
I have a original poster from there, and it's made out of this real super thick paper, or it almost feels like you're rolling up like a little mat or a big mat because it's a big one. But anyway,
that's one I never go back to.
Yeah, I watch it every once in a blue moon, but it's going to be like years before I get to it.
I still need to watch the 4K. I still haven't watched the 4K.
Yeah, I haven't really. That's the one I didn't get, but I mean, if it's cheap enough, I might just switch it out.
I got a dirt cheap. I got it like $20.
Yeah, maybe
limited.
I didn't get the limited. Still, but the others. But anyway, Fabio Testi's in the prison or the jail cell with that, and Michael J. Pollock.
Yeah, man.
Paula, whatever, and then the crazy black dude.
Yeah, Harry Baird.
Is his name Butt or Bud or
his name's Butt? His name's Bud. Bud Wilson.
Okay.
Jesus.
Right, because I thought he says Butt at first when he called.
No wonder he goes crazy.
He goes by all those names.
But anyway, so after at some point when they're arrested, these crazy hood guys that look like the killer from The Town That Dreaded Sundown come out and start.
I thought it looked like something from a Serbian film too.
Well, I mean, it looked. Yeah,
it definitely looked like Town That Dreaded.
The Phantom Killer.
Baghead Jason or something.
They just ran. I mean, there's a bunch of people killed. You never see them again. The sheriff releases them and gives them a damn wagon and horses and tells them to get out. And so they
takes his damn money too.
So they take off and Michael J. Pollard.
Yeah.
He's an alcoholic, which is all he cares about is booze.
He won an Oscar for in Bonnie and Clyde. So
wow, did he really?
Yeah, he's a great actor.
I remember him more for like American Gothic and films like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like really cheesy kind of. Yeah.
Sleepaway Camp 3.
Really
sleazy.
Yeah.
But they run into like some religious family or group and they stay with them for a while.
Quakers.
Then they run into Thomas Milland, who's
it's Choco
Taco.
Choco Taco, man.
And then sometimes he's got like a wrap around his head. And he's got like looks like a earring or something. I don't even know what he's got out of it.
It looks like some kind of pirate thing.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of a pirate. Yeah. But he's by far the best thing I think.
He looks like Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah. But he's not really in the film. I would say maybe 20 minutes max. It's hard.
Yeah, because he comes back, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But he
very effective.
So at this time, the Fabio Testi and the girl are getting kind of close together. When they're meeting with the religious people, they just tell them that they're married, or that guy thinks they're married, so they go with it.
Right.
Thomas Milland gives them all some peyote.
Get trippy.
Yeah, and so everything. He's all messed up. I think like they were saying, he based his character off Charles Manson, so he was kind of.
I got that.
Yep.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
So what'd you think about the music? They said it's inspired. They said it was inspired from Pink Floyd.
It's
Yeah.
weird soundtrack. Because there's even like some songs in it, like from Blazing Saddles. It's kind of like, well, obviously there's a colored, a black guy in there, and it's kind of, yeah, it's really weird.
Well, it's more of it's like definitely. I mean, it's just definitely a '70s thing. I mean, it seems like this
Yeah.
was that part of it seems like it was something out of one of these low budget
You
like
said
Scorsese movies or something or some
Yeah.
other where they play this random or maybe it was some specific songs that
See, didn't you say that they
Yeah.
should have got America to sing "Horse with No Name"?
yeah that's what
Right.
that would have been pretty good but
And the songs tell they
Yeah.
go along with the story.
right
So
yeah
I love the music, but
But-
I could be the lone person.
I dig it. I dig
so
it.
when he gets when everybody gets really high and stuff on his peyote Fabio Testi
Testes. Fabio's
Testes.
testes.
I always called him Fabio Testi.
Yeah.
He spit it out, which I didn't notice.
Right.
But I on a watching some of the special features they show it again, and he ties him up and they're all like strung out, and he Thomas Bland just rapes the girl.
Oh,
Right.
it's awful. It's not real explicit,
No.
but it's
No.
still horrible.
Well,
to
it
watch.
convey it, and it's one thing you will never say about Fulci is restraint, but definitely it tells the story without showing anything.
Yeah.
You see her boobs some, but nothing.
Yeah, he does a little nipple sucking. That's
Yeah,
right.
well, I mean, what are you
But
gonna do?
how slow and methodical he is about pulling
Yeah.
her dress and her, I guess, her
Or-
petticoat or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call that.
Yeah,
Bloomers.
It's just, ooh.
it's kind of what
Um,
you don't see makes it worse
Yeah.
in a way.
I
you
think
know?
it's worse from Fabio Testi's reaction.
Yeah,
Like, when the camera focuses on him,
right.
it's like, and then he crushes his balls and shit. It's
yeah,
Mm.
Like,
and then
damn. So,
Michael J, which Pollard. Um,
yeah.
he says, "Come, you can come with me." And there's that one scene where he's trying to get him to do stuff for whiskey, and he'll say he'll drink it out of his spit
Oh
or
man,
something.
I was like, what the hell? When he spits it in his
Couldn't
mouth.
watch that.
And apparently,
Yeah.
that was something they came up with, him and Thomas Milan.
Damn.
That's like some porn kind
That's
of
hardcore.
Well, I mean, I don't think. I mean, it's gross, but I guess he just kind of put it in there and just like.
Yeah.
But either way, it's still gross. But
Right.
he ends up shooting him, and he unties everybody evidently, and they make a thing, and they carry him through the desert,
Right.
and they get to this dead town, and
Yeah.
it just starts raining like a hellaciously rain, and apparently they all get naked.
Yeah. They all get
I
naked.
guess
so they
dry their
out.
clothes.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
it's not exploitive though.
No.
The way that
No,
when they
no.
get naked.
And that
What-
the black guy gets crazy.
Yeah,
going out reading.
yeah,
all-
he's
He's
out in
going
the-
out in the cemetery and
Yeah, he's hanging out with his wanging out. And
Yeah.
Talking to the
Yeah,
graves.
yeah.
You know?
Well, at least it was cold.
yeah. Yeah.
Right for Batman, yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah, he's
but
talking to the gravestones.
And they also, I read that they made a mistake because in the beginning there's some narration saying something about 1874 or something, but he was reading off the graves and it was, like 1880 something. So they were messing it really up.
Yeah.
The
Right,
timeline.
what's your take on like the animal violence in this film?
I couldn't
Fulci
watch
just-
it. Yeah.
I didn't like
didn't-
that.
I don't think Fulci was a great lover of animals. to be honest.
No.
Oh,
Because
Well, I
there's
mean-
well, they were
killing
hunting.
birds right and left.
Yeah.
They're
then
hunting.
the
That's how I
rabbit.
look at it. So.
But they didn't need like 15 fucking dead birds. I mean,
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
they kill some.
I used to go
rabbits.
dove
Yeah.
hunting, so I don't know.
They
That
killed
poor
like a
little rabbit.
they killed like a duck. It looked like a mallard duck or something.
Yeah,
But-
Well,
yeah.
no, actually, my dad went quail hunting. That's what my dad used to do, quail hunting.
But I mean, I don't want to give into everything, but him and the girl leave the ghost
they-
town.
Don't forget Clem
Yeah, I didn't.
dies, and
Yeah,
Oh,
he
you
does
don't want to
die.
give that. You don't
Well,
want
fuck it. It's 50 years old.
we don't have to. We can leave that alone. We can leave it alone.
But there's some good. There's some. But they leave and
Right.
they leave by foot, and then they run into this priest that Fabio knows, who wears a gun.
Yeah.
They
I
take.
recognize him from something, man.
Yeah.
He's in. He reminds me of Dario Argento. He looks exactly like him.
I think
But
he's
he's
in
in-
Almost Human. I think
Yeah,
he's in
he's in
Almost
quite
Human.
a few, Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been
Well-
in Spasmo, maybe, but yeah, he's in quite a few.
They end up in this town, which I
But
assume.
you forgot one thing.
I know. I didn't want to give everything away.
But I will
About
say,
that family.
yeah,
Oh, they do find the family on the way.
And I guess Chaco
Yeah.
is
Choc-
massacred.
yeah.
Basically.
right.
Are you gonna give the one scene away where Bud does something with Clem?
No, yeah, that's what
Oh
we were talking
yeah,
about. That's what we were saying.
I mean, that just took me by
Yeah.
surprise, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when he started bringing in the meat, then my mind goes, oh shit, I remember where he got it from.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
had forgotten.
And I got
about
to,
that.
and this is before Fulci, went into
Yeah.
horror. So you can definitely see, like, this is like a prequel to his horror and shit. So
Oh,
I'll
God,
just
yeah,
say
yeah.
everybody got a piece of ass that night.
Yeah.
Basically.
hell yeah,
And then it turns completely even darker, like with what happens to like Bunny and like, oh man.
Well, and then they
Yeah.
go to this camp, it must be in the mountains. That's the only thing I can assume because it is
yeah,
snow everywhere, and she has the child, and all these men,
yeah,
totally against type, become really concerned about this baby,
yeah,
Yeah.
and at one point he leaves and he just basically lets them keep the child because
Right.
he sees that he's not it's not his kid anyway, but he's not someone who would be a good father.
Yeah.
And then later, as we move on closer to the end, we see he recognizes the wagon that they were
What-
using at the beginning and gets
what
some
about-
revenge.
What about the line from the one guy though? He's like, which one of the who does the kid look like out of all of us? I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So they all
I
tagged
mean-
her or what?
I mean, I don't know. Some of them probably don't know exactly where babies come from. Would be my guess.
You're right.
What's the whole deal
These
as
are
well
very
as there's
simple
no
guys.
women in that like village or whatever? Is that ever explained?
It's a
Yeah.
mining town, is what it is. They're miners,
Well, they did say they had one whore at one point, but I guess she left.
right? And if they need a woman, they'll go get a whore from somewhere.
Maybe they ran out of money. And
the
shit.
famous Sand City, wherever the hell that's at. I don't know if we
Yeah,
ever get
yeah.
there,
Right.
but
that's where everybody was going.
everybody's
to
going to
Sand
Sand. I thought it was Sin City, but then that didn't make any sense. But
Right.
Sand City. So, the movie itself is like, I was reading a comment that it was Fulci's best produced movie. I would agree, at least this is a movie that you really don't. Fulci is giving everything he's got. At least I would assume he is, because it comes off as a really polished movie with the actors. The story itself, I think that I said Fulci rewrote the screenplay or something, which,
Oh shit.
I mean, I
Okay.
read something that he didn't like.
Yeah. Well, I saw it was inspired from 2 novels, and
yeah, because it says based on stories by somebody, doesn't it?
yeah, Bret Hart.
Oh, the Hitman.
Francis Bret Hart.
Oh, Francis from France. Francis
Bret Hart. The Luck of Roaring Camp and the Outcast of Poker.
Oh.
So I was like, damn.
Well, I mean, I guess it maybe makes sense.
I gotta ask something of like everybody. Well, Steve probably already answered it, but Dirk, Darren, have y'all seen To All a Good Night, the David Hess
Oh, boy.
Christmas horror
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you remember the guy Ralph in that was going around kind of being religious, telling Nancy, "I want you to be safe, Miss Nancy." He's a very simple type guy. Do you remember that guy?
It's been a while, to
I
be
can't.
honest.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So that character was played by Buck West. And I could have sworn when they got to the mining town in this movie that there was a guy that it had to be Buck West,
Buck
and
West.
I think it was the Montana character.
Well, I looked it up, and that's on IMDb. That's that guy. He's just got darker hair.
Okay, but it sure as
I mean,
heck
I'm just saying.
sounds and looks
When
like
I was
Buck
kind of,
West.
but what? I don't know.
It didn't look like that guy to me.
Well, it kind of did to me. It just looked like an older. Either it was a picture taken a few many years after that.
Okay, but I'm gonna have to show you those scenes and tell
No,
you
you
good
don't.
night
No, you don't.
sometime. All right, well, I just wanted to put that out there because I know I'm not that crazy. I know I'm crazy, but not that crazy.
But I mean, one little trivia I noticed read about was Fabio, since he was so beautiful. Or Ursula Andrews was screwing him or something, and she came to the set because she was hearing stuff about him and that other chick.
Yeah,
and she tried
there
to
was
make sure
rumors that they were
Yeah,
doing a little in out.
yeah.
Thing.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me actually.
But
The
Fabio said
chemistry
that
is
she was
quite
very.
good between them. Sorry, Steve.
Oh, it's okay. I was just saying it. It said that Fabio said that Ursula Andrews was like super jealous of him and or just jealous in general.
I see.
Wasn't
I
he?
saw that.
He was screwing Edwidge at some point as well.
Whoa!
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Damn,
he could probably
Who are
write
we
the book.
talking about?
Fabio.
Oh, I think that dude was screwing everybody.
I heard that they cast Lynn Frederick because she could cry at will. That's what I heard. So
I had no idea she was the same woman from Schizo.
she's great, man. She's amazing. I
Until
thought.
Dana said,
I think everybody.
Yeah, she's
is.
brilliant.
Like,
Yeah, I
He
mean
was
this.
what 20 years old? They said.
Yeah, so basically, this is a really unusual movie for Fulci in his catalog. It's just amazing, and there's so much, with the baby and everything. It's very, the story is very emotional, and it's
Yeah.
you get feelings from it. Not
yeah,
like,
man, it pulls at the heartstrings. It's
Yeah.
a damn good movie. I was telling Tasha right after. I was like, "Damn, this is like a damn." The best way I could describe this movie is like it's a very human.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean it.
damn.
Yeah, it's very focused on as it should be with these couple characters. I mean, obviously, I would have to, without seeing. I've seen one of the films at El Putro, which was not my cup of tea. Out of the set, this was
Putro.
whatever the cigar is, Puro or whatever.
Right.
This, I think, was safe to say that this is the best movie of the four. I will watch the others because or Dana got it for me for
Yeah, I
Christmas,
got
but
it for you.
Yeah,
I definitely want to see them. But
yeah, I gotta check them out. But
this was the main reason to get the set.
Right.
Now I'm 100% sure that this will get a standalone release.
Well, I hope
some
it does
point.
because I might buy this one just for my collection. I'm not really interested in the others, but I absolutely love this one.
right.
I'm kind of in between on this one because it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, all the scenes you just mentioned and the way it's done, I think is superb. Whether I'll actually go back and I'll rewatch, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
It's
shit,
just completely
man.
not my cup of tea. I love all the stuff. I thought Thomas
Yeah.
Milian is
Yeah, he's
fantastic.
always like,
I think
he's
they're
amazing.
all,
really.
You know.
I think they all did good.
Yeah. But for me, just westerns is kind of out of my,
Well,
comfort zone. If that's,
I mean, to me, I love that there was a whole genre of film that Europeans made about the Old West in America,
Yeah.
and a lot of them were shot in Spain.
Right.
And I mean, I just find that super interesting that this foreign country made movies based in America in the Old West because it was popular, and they morphed it into something a little different than what their traditional Western were at that time. From like I think Danjo or Django was
Django.
was
Django.
that kind of kicked everything off. That was even I think either the same year of Clint Eastwood's Fistful of Dollars, but all that stuff kind of and it went on for years. I mean, there was a cycle. I guess that's the cycle of European cinema or Italian cinemas where they like Giallos took off, so they just made a shit ton of those. The same
Yeah.
thing with spaghetti westerns.
Yeah,
And
the spaghetti transitioned into the giallo.
yeah,
And then
so
that transitioned into the poliziotteschi.
yeah, and then but
It's probably
yeah,
one of his best looking films. Like the way it's shot, it's amazing.
it
Yeah, I
looks
figured
like
you'd be high on it, man. I really did, because it
It's
gives me the feels of the same style, almost like Don't Torture a Duckling. Like,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
yeah, there's starkness there. It's like
Yeah.
really all these places are not clean. They're aged, they're old, they're falling apart.
right.
It's like maybe that's a symbolism for at that point the West was falling, changing, Old West was dying, but maybe not. Maybe it's just the sets that were there. But it was I really just think it's just a imagine if somebody saw that and they gave Fulci an American movie to make.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
But
yeah.
I did see that the when they're in the minor town, with all the guys or whatever, that set was used from White Fang, from Fulci's White Fang.
I've never seen those before, but I mean, I would
Yeah.
imagine I've heard people mention that those were kind of in at least in the vein that they're not got ridiculous shit in them like the Beyond or
Right.
some of the goofier stuff than in some of those horror movies. But because those were released in the States.
Yeah, I need to see them too, man. I never have seen White Fang. At
I
least
think
the first.
Yeah, there was multiple ones, but
As much as I like all of Fulci's horror stuff and things, I think this is probably one of his most coherent.
yeah, I mean, obviously this is not something that
Yeah,
it's a very let's just say it's a really good movie. It was a good made movie. Everything is there, and it you would never in a million years think that this guy directed The Beyond or
Right.
Cat in the Brain. I mean, there's no way.
or Demonia,
Or Red
New-
Monks that
New
he
York
presented.
Ripper.
Devil's Honey.
Yeah, Devil's Honey.
Like, this is not to say that, because I did not dislike this film at all.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
understand.
the fact that I said, it's totally out of my comfort zone. But I mean, I give it a strong 6. And if I do ever go back, it's not something I'm gonna want to go back to a lot, but I might do for a stream or something. It may go higher because the quality on screen is superb. Like,
Yeah.
I'd have to give it a 9.5.
That's surprising because I thought this would be one Dana would probably be more, like me, but.
Me and Steve watched this. Did we watch it after we got married or when we were dating?
It was a long time ago.
It was early in our relationship.
I mean, I
that.
still have the DVD. I think I'm not 100% sure, but that was the only. Obviously, this is the new. The release on Blu-ray. I think is the
Looks
first
great
time.
too.
Yeah, it does look really good.
And Steve was like, "You got to see this." And at first, I was like, I kind of pick and choose on my westerns. And when Steve said it was a western, I was like, he said, no, just watch it. You're gonna like it. And I did.
Yeah.
I mean, they use a lot of the same voices, the voice actors from all the other films of that time, and so it's kind of interesting to hear the different voices.
I mean, I want to go back and watch it again immediately. I want to watch it in Italian. I watched it in English, but I want to see what the difference is with the Italian.
Yeah, I was surprised that you have to choose either the English version or the Italian, but they're the same exact length. And in the English, they do include some of the scenes in Italian only, which is I just don't understand why you just didn't have one version and just have the audio options. But either way, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm sure that's what they're doing, but it just seems like that would have been an easier or a more common option instead of picking one version or the other.
That's what happened in my version because towards the end, Thomas Millian starts talking in Italian when there's no subs because I had it ripped basically.
Yeah.
So, but you could get that. You realize what he was saying, but
yeah, I mean, you get the gist.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's great too, man. I give it a 10. I give it a fucking 10, man.
Wow.
This
Yeah.
son of a bitch has jumped in my top 5 Fulci for sure.
Holy shit, man!
It's
yeah.
probably knocked something out. I don't know what knocked out. But
He'll have to
damn.
go back to the books. And, oh shit! It knocked
Yeah.
this one out.
Yeah, right. But I told Tasha, I told her I know I was probably irritating the shit out of her. But I was like, you got to see this movie, and she's like, no.
Hey,
A Fulci movie? Hell no.
Dirk, tell her that Dana likes it. Maybe that'll make her want to watch it.
Well, when she sees that guy spit the liquor in that other guy's mouth, she's going to be
there's
out.
More to the
I
movie
know.
than that.
But yeah, man, it's it was better than I even thought because I've heard great things about it. But damn, it's really it's won high praise on it, man. I don't give many films a 10, but this one gets a 10 for me. So.
Great. Well, I mean, as of now, it's only available in the Savage Gun sets from Arrow.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I think in the future, Arrow does this thing where they'll either release a bunch of standard releases and then put them together as a set and sell them like the Giallo Essentials, or they'll do something where they'll have a set out and then eventually might release some of those movies individually. But we'll see. I'll
just tell you right now, if they release that one individually, I'm getting it.
They'll come out with the 4K. Watch them do that.
I would not be surprised at all.
I mean, if they're going to do one of the set, I would assume that would be the one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess Dirk, you're next. Picking your.
What did you give it, Steve?
I mean, as far as when you watch a movie and you get some kind of feelings from it and stuff like that, I'd give it probably 8 or 9 or something.
Okay.
It's a good movie, but I mean, I'm not gonna revisit it. Like, I don't know when the next time I'll watch it, but at some point I'll get the itch for it and I'll rewatch it, or I'll just maybe I didn't get through a lot of the extras, so I might go back and start watching some of them. Like, that's.
I only watched the 15-minute. The first extra we were talking about, but yeah, I'll probably watch this shit every year for sure. But man,
you're up next.
Yeah, man. So this is a movie I haven't seen. I kind of like doing that, like doing these blind watches. But this is some crazy shit from 1970 called "Female Animal."
I don't know if I've heard of that.
I've never heard of that one.
So, and it's on YouTube. So, yeah.
Right. What's it like? You don't have to give too much away, but what's it about?
It's so I got it right here. It's
I'm looking it up now on my phone.
Yeah. Okay. So
shit!
Holy cow!
Classic erotica.
It's a sultry Latin peasant woman who has overstayed her welcome in her relative's home, is run off the road while bicycling by a wealthy aristocrat immediately attracted to her. He hires her as his maid and introduces her to the good life. She soon finds herself in a bitter power struggle between the man and his spoiled playboy son after being subjected to an LSD cocktail and a shipboard orgy. And having slept with the man's son, mistress and the stable boy, she grows disgusted in upper-class decadence and descends into prostitution, her cat being her only solace.
So what was it called again? Female what?
Female Animal, 1970.
Or Teenagers for Sale.
I hate to say it, but this seems like it would have been a movie that Christina Lindbergh would have starred.
Well, it looks like it's from the States, right? Jerry Gross directed it, so it's not
Jerry
a.
Gross did this.
It's
I
not
thought it was Spanish. It's not.
Well, according to this, it says. I mean, I don't know for sure. I think the woman may be Spanish, but.
This is directed by Jerry Gross.
Right.
This is a porno film. It says on my phone.
A porno.
Yeah.
Well, it does. I mean, Rare Lust says classic erotica, but I mean,
I don't think it's a porno.
That doesn't mean
it's got
anything.
drama, stroke pornographic.
Well, that's because you're in the UK, Darren.
Yeah. What's that chick's
probably.
name?
Maybe it's softcore.
That White House chick will get on your ass. whatever her name
Okay,
was.
well,
I think
I got
she's
another
dead,
option.
ain't
Mary
she?
Whitehouse.
I do got another alternative.
No,
Y'all.
I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, go. Yeah, go with
No,
that.
that's interesting. I want.
Okay.
to see
Hopefully, I can track it down. Though, that's the thing.
It's on Rare Lust.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, well, there you got that too.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, man. I just figured I'd throw something out there.
Yeah,
that,
just wrote it
well,
I've
down.
never heard of.
Well, if we're gonna watch this, we're gonna watch the transplant, which is about a guy who gets a bigger penis from the '70s.
Are we gonna have a double feature
Yeah.
in our house, Steve?
No,
Make it a triple feature with "Make Me Die a Woman."
I love that. Is
Oh,
such. That's
Steve
uncomfortable.
showed me that movie, and it's hard for
Oh,
him
man.
to watch. I'm just like sitting there, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't watch."
I mean, that's quite relevant as well today, to be honest. But yeah.
Synapse put that out. I have the DVD.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, damn.
But
That's
anyway,
not a rewatch like type film.
maybe. Well, I'm weird. I'll watch it every once in a while.
Yeah, but the dick splitting. Scene,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's how you. It's educational,
is it?
I guess.
Yeah, everybody go show that to your 10-year-olds or something.
Well, when you're trying to give sex education, they should watch that movie, and they won't want
It's
to have
kind
sex.
of it's like a feel-good movie because you feel good that you're not in his
Yeah.
position, basically.
I feel good. I'm not getting my penis split. But
They do, don't they? Peel it like a banana. It's almost like
Oh,
they're
man.
the damn thing like
Holy
a banana.
shit.
float around, put the
Yeah.
inside out.
Dirk
They make a
said
damn
banana.
vagina out of it or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
We
Yeah.
should pick that for dirt, but
Yeah.
no, I'm only joking.
We'll do a watch along on the Dead Pit Patreon so we can show it all.
And get them kicked off.
No, Patreon, they can't. Nobody, you can't
Oh,
get kicked
okay.
off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I guess that's it for now. We'll be back in a few weeks with the female animal
Yeah, female animal, 1970.
or teenagers for sale
Damn.
or rent. But
Holy shit.
we'll be back next time. So everybody, see you later. Thanks for watching, and we'll be
Yep.
back.
Bye, everybody.
Later, guys.
See y'all later.